The adventure incense in Pokemon Go is amazing and maybe slightly frustrating for you guys if you have not been able to see one of the Galarian birds yet, but I'm gonna make sure you guys know everything about it and what you should do about not seeing one in Pokemon Go. So with all that said, you know what time it is. Welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, have you seen a Galarian bird come from the incense, number one? Number two, if you have, has it ran or has it been caught? I am very curious, because today we are gonna open up our third incense, and I wanna cover a couple things and tips about this incense for you guys before we get into opening hours. Number one, I just wanna make sure that you guys do know that you should walk in a straight line until a spawn does spawn, and then if you need to turn at that point, do so after you see a spawn. So preferably, you'd be walking in a place that is a very straight line. Reason being, let's compare my results here. So number one, on the first time that we did do this, we caught a grand total of 18 Pokemon, which did include a rare Pokemon such as Ampharos. We did get a Grovyle, but beyond that, it wasn't anything too crazy. But that is a grand total of 18. So that was, I thought, a pretty good amount of Pokemon. The next day, I was just landing in Oregon. I ended up walking this very late in the day, and there is extremely darkness, and there's a lot of wildlife around, so I did not stray too far by myself. There's no street lamps either, and I only got a grand total of 6 Pokemon. However, I was walking probably like 300 feet back and forth, so that is the difference between walking in a very fast straight line, catching frequently, and not. So that is a big difference right there. And a couple other things that are really cool to mention. Number one, if you guys do have a specific spotlight hour that you cannot play, maybe you're in a remote area, you can use the free daily incense, such as this gentleman did on Twitter, and caught a couple of Meditites during this spotlight hour. So maybe not the best use, but if there's a really desirable spotlight hour, maybe such as Dratini or Bagon, and you're in a remote area and you don't want to pay for an incense, you can get 15 minutes out of this one, even though he did get a couple other spawns, but it does count for something. And just an honorable mention, some of the other spawns that we have seen in here from my gameplay, I did get a wild Gyarados the other day, which was quite cool, and a gamut of other different spawns, including a bunch of shiny potentials here. And the most Pokemon I have seen being caught in 15 minutes is a grand total of 26, which did include one of the Galarian birds, which we are going to open incense and hopefully get something good together today. And then we do see another Galarian bird in there, the Moltres. The other one was going to be Zapdos. I have seen some people, I don't think I've seen anybody catch an Articuno as of yet, but then we had somebody else, which obviously live in the Florida region because we do have a Heracross as well as Maractus. So these incenses can definitely produce some pretty rare spawns, and they are going to be dependent on where and when you do them. So if you're doing it on Spotlight Hour, it will reflect that. If you're doing it on Calm Day, it will reflect that. If you are doing anything else. And the most important thing is to walk really fast, catch really fast, and walk in a straight line as much as possible. And if you do need to turn or turn around, make sure you walked all the way until a spawn happens and then make your way back. So number one, let's see if we can set our record today. Number two, let's see if we can get a Galarian bird. And number three, at the end of the video, we will address what happens if you don't have a Galarian bird and should you freak out. So let's open our incense starting right now. Alrighty, you guys ready to adventure together? I suggest when you start the incense, you are already walking at a clip. You see your guys moving, and then we are going to use this right now. The very key here is to be moving the entire time that you are playing. You do not want to wait. You do not want to wait for it to pop up. You do not want to wait for it to be like, oh, are we adventuring? Well, yes, we are adventuring. Let's go ahead and get some spawns here. Number one is going to be a Trico. We will probably not cover all the spawns, but the goal today is hopefully to get us a Galarian bird, and then we can talk about it at the end, and we'll see how many spawns we can get by walking at a relatively fast clip in a straight line. I think so. We got a pretty good straight line right here in Sisters, Oregon right now. Another thing you can do is pop open the friends list to potentially refresh the game and see if you can get a spawn coming back. And it looks like we already have our second spawn right there. So spawn number 2 is going to be Hisuian Voltorb. All right, so the one thing that I am going to mention is that quick catching on incense sometimes becomes a little bit hairy because it may interfere with some of the spawns, meaning that, you know, the game could think that that Pokemon is still there for longer than it is. So may not be the best thing for you guys to do all the time. Just gonna put that out there. There's our fourth spawn of the day, which is going to be a Drowsy, non-shiny. I'm trying to walk at a very fast clip so that as soon as we are done, you know, we get potentially one popping up right there. And obviously shiny checking at the meantime, we did get a Hisuian Quillfish right there. Love this Pokemon, great spawn. And coming right out of the Quillfish, we already do have ourselves a Ponyta. So, if I'm not mistaken, it does appear that by doing this in a very fast manner at a very fast clip, almost as soon as you're done catching a Pokemon, it does seem to spawn Pokemon a little bit, hopefully faster, and then interacting with the environment can always help out as well. And just like that, we already have our other Pokemon spawning right now, which is gonna be a Buizel. And just done with that Buizel, let's see how long it is gonna take for our next spawn to pop up. We are already just over 4 minutes into this. Let's go ahead and spin a stop on our meantime, and we already have our next Pokemon, which is going to be a Yungoos. Oh, we do have a Gloom coming in right here. Definitely make sure to try to catch these Pokemon as fast as possible with whatever means necessary to try to get the most out of this incense and hopefully get yourself a Galarian bird, because the more you can see, the better possibilities you do have to get more. And we do have a Panpour, which could be shiny, and we have our next Pokemon, which is going to be a Staravia. So from what I can see, one of the big keys to getting a Pokemon relatively fast off of the incense is going to be that when you encountered it and when you are done with it, I'll show you here that your avatar is going to be basically like kind of jumping out as if it's running fast. So if you guys do check this out, watch when I get out of here, see how it kind of runs right there. I think that's one of the things that does trigger to be able to get you one of those Pokemon a lot faster from the incense. And just like that, we have another Buizel going down right here, and I am on to no Great Ball, so I'm gonna be using Ultra Balls. Maybe not the best use of my Ultra Balls, but I think it's gonna be worth it for this video just to make sure that we are able to get as much as possible out of this. As you can tell, we are walking at a pretty fast clip right now just to be able to try to get this done. And we have ourselves a Zubat. Not quite the legendary that we're looking for. And the next Pokemon that we do have is going to be an Aipom. Absolutely hate catching Aipom. One of my least favorite Pokemon in the game, just because of its functionality and catching and how challenging it always is. It's either jumping like this, or it's extremely challenging to hit very, very hard Pokemon to hitbox and bring home. And our next Pokemon is a Wurmple. So now I do want to turn left here, so I'm going to catch this Wurmple because it just popped up, and then I'm going to hit a left. And this should then, after I get a nice little clip of walking going, should then trigger my guy to go forward, and this would then cause the spawns to continue here, as opposed to hopefully, you know, we'll see here in a second, cut off if I were to not do it in this manner, because there is a Dialga right there, and I'm kind of interested in chatting with the Dialga here in a second. And let's see how long it's gonna take for the next Pokemon to spawn. Do not let me down here, do not let me down here, do not let me down. There it is, just like that. Zubat. And we have a Panpour to check real quick, and we have ourselves a Ponyta. It looks like we have about 3 minutes left on this incense, and it looks like, unless we get lucky on the last 3 minutes, we may have another dud, which a lot of you guys may be experiencing for the Galarian birds as well, which we are going to talk about here in a second. And let's interact real quick. Number one, it could be a shiny Zubat. Number two, it does seem to be lucrative, and we have another Buizel, man. Come on, give me a Galarian bird. I'm feeling that FOMO just like all you guys are out there too that have not seen one yet. Minute 20 left on our incense. Let's go ahead and check a quick Buizel. It looks like we have a Zubat that has spawned once again, which is kind of a bummer, not gonna lie. All right, 54 seconds. Maybe if we get lucky, we can get 2 spawns. I am not turning around. I'm going as fast as possible to try to get this. Oh, there's a gym up there. I don't think that we're gonna be able to get 2 spawns here. We have a Drifloon encounter. Maybe if I catch this extremely fast and I get extremely lucky on the next one, we will be able to pull home a final spawn. I don't think we're gonna be able to, but I'm not going to jinx myself. I'm just gonna try my best to see what the last spawn is gonna be, and then we will talk about, okay, 19 seconds. Please, come through for us. Come through, come through. You got one more spawn in you. I know you do. 10 seconds, don't play games. There it is, and it's gonna be Hisuian Voltorb as our last spawn, and once again, 4 incenses in a row. We have not encountered a Galarian bird yet, so what am I gonna do, and what should you do in this instance? Do you feel that FOMO? Let's get to that Dialga raid, and we're gonna find out. Okay, and 26 was the record I saw. We got 27. So walking really fast in a straight line does prove extremely effective when causing more spawns to come from this incense. Look at that. That is the most that I have ever seen. I am suspectful that you could get a grand total of 30 if you do this in a very fast manner at a very fast pace, and that would be where it's gonna come through. But oh my goodness, 27 spawns. Let me know if you guys have gotten more than 27 in the comments below as well. Alrighty, we are going to check the Dialga together. Unfortunately, it is not gonna be a shiny, but let's talk about the Galarian birds as we catch this Dialga together. And where are we sitting at for these? Number one thing, as I always talk to you guys about, is patience pays off in Pokemon Go. At some point, everybody is gonna have one. Number two, do you feel like you need one? Do you feel like you want one? Do you feel FOMO for not having one? Do I feel it? Yes, I do feel it. I have not seen an encounter. I've done 4 instances. I've seen people do multiple ones. Gilly got 2 back to back in his. Unfortunately, we don't have one yet, and that's just the nature of it. What I suggest doing is use the daily incense not as a device to try to get a means to an end, but what I would suggest doing is using it as the intention is to go out and explore with it. You have a free incense that if you walk really fast and you explore, you can hatch some eggs, you can get some buddy hearts for your buddy towards ranking up your best buddies in Pokemon Go and everything like that. You can even hatch eggs, get the Stardust, catch more Pokemon. You have a free incense that will give it to you for 30 potential spawns is what I'm seeing is the max spawns for this. So use the incense for what it is. We are gonna hatch some 7-kilometer eggs. Do not fret, do not be worried. Everybody in Pokemon Go will eventually have a Galarian bird. And if you do so happen to get one early, most of the chances is that they're probably gonna be bad IVs as well. So I wouldn't even worry about it. I wouldn't stress about it. Just be grateful that we do have daily incense that is free. You can get your spawns. So rest assured that everybody at some point will be getting this Pokemon. Do not let FOMO get the best of you. Remember, if you do not have expectations beyond what the intention of each of the devices is, you will have fun. If you do raids just to do raids, you're gonna have fun. If you do the daily incense just to have daily incense, you will have fun. All right, we're gonna hatch some 7-kilometer eggs and see what we get for the Hisuian Pokemon, and that's gonna be a wrap. And the grand finale, we do have 5 7-kilometer eggs. Hopefully we do hatch all the Hisuian Pokemon in one quick swoop. We do have ourselves a Quillfish. We already have that Pokemon. Please don't be another Quillfish, all right. Please be a Growlithe, there we go. Growlithe number 1, and then we have ourselves another Quillfish. Please be a Sneasel. For our last egg, can it be? Oh, it's a Voltorb. So we almost got all of them right there. Let's see what the IVs of these ones are. 545, Growlithe, we have Quillfish, and that is gonna do it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember, patience pays off. Remember, walk really fast on that incense, and you guys are all gonna get one eventually. Don't even worry, even if it's ran from you. So thank you guys for being here. Likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody who takes their support, subscription, and participation, we'll see you guys out on the next video. Peace. Okay, and for the bonus content, we did encounter a Galarian Articuno. Unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately, we hit the excellent throw. It was a pretty good CP boosted one, and this Pokemon ran away. So I believe this is on our 1, 2, 3, I think this was on our 5th incense. We finally found one and it ran away. And yes, I have a little bit of FOMO. It would have been amazing to get this Pokemon. Let me know if anybody has the Galarian Articuno. I don't think I've seen anybody catch that specific one. But if you do, let me know. They look so incredibly cool. And I can't wait for all of us to get it eventually in Pokemon Go. So please be patient.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.